Today, we will discuss an important concept in Stoic philosophy. Everything we have is merely borrowed from nature. To understand this concept better, let's reflect on a famous quote by Seneca, a well-known Stoic philosopher. There is no reason to admire yourself. What we possess is also what we owe. We may use and enjoy these things, but the one who gave them to us decides how long we may keep them. Our responsibility is to always be ready to return what was lent to us when the time comes, without complaint. This is what a debtor should do. A story of loss and the lesson of borrowing. Let's start with a familiar question. Do you really own anything? Think about all the material things you have, your car, your laptop, or even your beloved pet cat. Do they really belong to you, or are they simply things that could be taken away at any moment? One day, your car might be stolen, your laptop could break, and your cat might run away, never to return. Even things that seem under your control, like your social status or health, can be snatched away without warning. So do we truly own anything? Stoic philosophy teaches that everything is temporary, and we are merely borrowing from nature. As Seneca said, we do not own, but are merely allowed to use. At some point, nature will reclaim what it has lent us, and we must be ready to return it without complaint. A story of losing it all. Imagine a successful businessman who has spent his entire life building his career. He owns valuable assets, maintains important relationships, and holds a high social status. But one day, an unexpected event occurs. The market crashes, his company goes bankrupt, and all his assets disappear overnight. The man loses everything he thought he owned. In such a situation, many people would feel devastated because they believed that everything they had built and worked hard for truly belonged to them. But Stoic philosophy suggests that this is a misconception. We don't truly own anything, even the things we've worked for. Everything is temporary and can be taken away at any moment. When the businessman accepts that everything is borrowed from nature, he will regain his composure and avoid falling into despair. The unpreparedness for loss. One of the reasons we struggle with loss is because we never mentally prepare for it. We live in the illusion that what we have will last forever. We don't want to acknowledge that everything can vanish, and when it does, we are overwhelmed with grief. Seneca posed a thought-provoking question in his letter to Marcia. How can we witness so many funerals passing by our house and not think about our own mortality? We see others experiencing loss and suffering, but we rarely think that such things could happen to us. We see the rich losing everything, but we never consider that we too might face the same fate. There are many missing cat posters on the streets, but we don't think our own cat could ever run away. We convince ourselves that we are somehow immune, that everything will always stay as it is. But the truth is, we are not invincible. And when we are unprepared for loss, the pain will be even greater when it hits. Living with a mindset of borrowing and hetenes. This is why Seneca advises us to view everything in life as borrowed from nature. Everything you think you own, from material possessions to relationships, health, and even your life, is only temporary. These things are lent to you by nature, and one day you will have to return them. And when that day comes, you should be ready to give them back without regret, just like a debtor returning what they owe. Think about everything you have: your friends, spouse, children, pets, health, and social status. None of these things are yours forever. You are merely entrusted with them for a while. Recognizing this is not meant to make you anxious or fearful, but rather to help you feel gratitude and appreciate every moment. By understanding that everything can be taken away at any time, you will not be easily crushed by misfortune. And when losses do occur, you will face them with calmness and acceptance. As the old saying goes, we came into this world empty-handed, and we will leave the same way. If you find this part clear, I can continue with more stories and lessons to further explain the Stoic approach of viewing life and its possessions as things borrowed from nature.